In this tutorial, I want to show you how to create this glossy material in Maya. Now, this is a very common glossy material you'll see in a lot of motion graphics these days, and particularly those who like to use Cinema 4D. So we're going to create this in Maya, but in Maya it's not actually as easy to do this because we need to create our own node settings to achieve the same result. So what we will need to do first is to head over online and find an HDRI image. This is almost guaranteed. We always almost need it. I've just gone to hdrlabs.com and went to Smart IBL, and just under SIBL archive I've gone down and just looked for a particular HDRI image I like to use, and I just like to use this just to practice for a little bit. I've chosen waterfall in this case, and what I've done is in waterfall I've extracted the zip file, gone into my Maya, and under render settings, make sure you have mental ray on. We just go to indirect lighting, and under indirect lighting we've got image-based lighting here. Simply just select the file and apply it to your image name by clicking this folder right here. And make sure you have final gathering on because we need the realistic lighting to apply to the entire scene. Alright, so with that, let's just get started quickly. And in my hypershade, I'm going to create a new blend material. I'm just going to call it gloss. And in the work area, what we're going to do is pull in a few things. Firstly, we need a ramp. So grab a ramp node, and just to show you what it looks like, I'm just going to apply it to the diffuse. What we want is the ramp to coordinate or map a little bit differently. So I'm going to go back to the search box and just go SA, and I have sampler info node. Pull that in, and I'm going to middle mouse drag this onto the ramp and just go default, and I'm going to connect the facing ratio to the UV coordinate, but I'm going to expand this and connect it just to the V coordinate there, and there you have it. You've got the fall off effect, which you can just adjust in your ramp shader here. So for the purpose of this, we need to create a reflection map, so I'm going to keep it black and white just like that, so we have that nice effect. And one more thing, we want to suppress that specular thing right there, so I'm just going to turn this eccentricity down to 0 so we only get the reflection. Now for the ramp, I'm going to delete it off from the diffuse because now we know what it looks like. We are going to apply it to the reflectivity value and the specular color, and I'm just going to drag this gloss material onto this middle object here and have a quick render and see what it looks like. Okay, we've got a nice reflection already. This gloss material isn't a fully reflective object. We have less reflection around the center and more reflection on the edges of the object. Okay, and that's what we actually want. We're not going to stop there though. We need to do something with the diffuse in the back here. And just to give it a bit of a car shader feel, we need to apply another ramp to the diffuse value here. So I'm going to duplicate this ramp and apply the sampler info from the facing ratio to the V coordinate again. But because this time, if I just apply to the diffuse here, it's actually still in the same direction we have. We want it in the reverse because we want the edges to be darker and the center to have a lot more opacity. So it's a simple amount of just going to the ramp and reversing this, like so. Okay, that might be a little bit too harsh, but I can just go exponential down just to suppress that a little bit more. It's a very subtle change, but it does make quite a little bit of difference. The other thing is, you don't want this to be completely white. Okay, for the purpose of a diffuse, you want some darkness in there, so you can, because you don't want the light to reflect off it too much. So in this case, we need to turn this ramp white into just slightly gray, just about maybe 80%. That will pretty much do. Okay, and that's still connected to the diffuse, so I'm just going to delete that and apply it to the diffuse value down here. And let's have another quick render and see what it looks like. Great, you can see we've got a little bit of suppression on the edges of the diffuse material, and this is what you get. This is how you get your nice, glossy material. Now, this is pretty much already done, so it's basically just the ramp shader and your sampler info to connect to make this work. So just to have a little bit of fun, I'm just going to apply a texture onto the diffuse, and just to demonstrate what it actually looks like, maybe we'll just grab probably just a fractal. Something fairly simple, have a quick render and see what we get. And that's pretty much it, guys. Just a quick, very simple, relatively speaking, glossy material in Maya. So it's a Cinema 4D style shader that you can use in your motion graphics or various projects. So guys, if you like the content, please do subscribe. I do have more tutorials coming up. But if you do have any requests, just let me know and I'll be happy to give them a try. I won't be able to do everything, of course. And don't forget to visit my channel for more tutorials, and I'll see you guys next time.